So apparently, the UK is losing thousands of millionaires every single year. Some say it's because of high taxes, others argue it's just part of a global trend. Whatever the reason, TikTok has plenty to say about why the rich are packing their bags. Let's scroll through and see what people are saying about life in Britain right now.
7,000 millionaires left the UK last year, which makes the UK number 2 in the world with the most millionaires leaving the country, just behind China, who had 20,000 millionaires exit the country in 2024. You might be thinking, what's the big deal? China has twice the number of millionaires leaving as the UK. But when you consider the fact that the population of the UK is 68 million and China has 20 times that at 1.4 billion. Now you need to ask yourself, why is that even a problem? Unfortunately, there is a growing opinion in the UK that the wealthy are inherently bad for some reason and that they do not pay their taxes. But these people forget that the top 10% of earners in the UK pay 60% all taxes. So if they're all leaving, who do you think is going to end up paying the taxes? Spoiler alert, it's you. So if the rich are leaving this country to go to countries that are trying to attract them with better tax laws, why is it that the UK government is making it so unappealing to earn a decent salary in this country?
Next up, we've got someone who says the UK is just too expensive to survive in, even when they were making thousands a month. They claim it's not just about the weather, but about being trapped in a never-ending work and spend cycle. Let's hear their story.
3 reasons I left the UK in my 20s. Let's go.
Number 1 being the UK is too expensive even for living a basic lifestyle. And I'm not just saying that because I had no money. In fact, sometimes I would make £5,000 a month. Other months I would get close to £10,000 a month. But the point is, regardless of how much money I earned every month, that money was still all gone by the end of each month. Rent is incredibly expensive for what you get. I mean, you're looking at over £1,000 a month for a single person's rent. But regardless, the UK average salary is about £2,000 after taxes. You're spending half of it towards your rent and you've got a couple £100 towards your car, bills, groceries, and by the end of it you're lucky if you have £100 left to go get a beer down the pub. And this is all on purpose. They want you to work, spend, and keep living in that cycle. It's a constant cycle of survival, and that's why everybody in the UK is miserable and they blame it on the weather. It's because they have no time or money to do something that they actually enjoy. Because most people work so many hours and they're still broke. You work a 9 to 5, you have no time to go on an adventure longer than the weekend. You literally have no freedom because you have to work for the things that you have to pay for. That's just one of the reasons why I quit my 9 to 5 desk job and move on to working online and traveling across Europe. So make sure to follow part 2 if you want to know how I actually did it.
Here's someone who says they love the UK, but not in the way you'd expect. From sky-high taxes to gloomy weather and expensive groceries, this one's basically a roast of Britain disguised as a list of benefits. Let's check it out.
I love living in the UK, and if you've seen my recent videos, you'll know it. Here are 3 benefits of living in the UK. Starting off with the extremely high taxes. If you love getting taxed on literally everything and supporting your government, the UK is the place for you. You can get taxed up to 45%, which is amazing. All your hard-earned money going straight to the government that loves and cares for you. Not to mention ULEZ, where you get the opportunity to pay £12.50 a day just to drive your car that you've already paid tax on. What's not to love about it? Next is the beautiful weather of the UK. Most of the time it's dark, cold and rainy, and you'll rarely ever see the sun. You can't ask for better weather than this. If you love going to work in the dark and coming home in the dark, after paying your £12.50 ULEZ, then you'll love the UK. Number 1 is the cost of living. Don't you just love the extortionate prices of the UK? Barely being able to afford rent because it's so expensive, and paying £2.50 for a can of beans. Perfect. Surely you'd rather live in the UK rather than somewhere where the cost of living is a third of the price. But what's not to love about the cost of living crisis in the UK right now? So big up the UK. And if you like the video, follow for more.
Now this next clip takes things to a darker place. The creator says coming back to Britain felt less like coming home and more like stepping into a prison, where work, money, and survival leave no room for happiness. It's raw, emotional, and honestly a tough listen.
When I got back to this country, I decided that I'm gonna make the most of it. So I will find some type of happiness in this country. If it's not in London, I will go up north. Since then, I have been using my days to find a vibe, and the only thing I found was depression. That's the only thing I found. All I found was disappointment, all I found was loneliness, and all I found was a lack of magic. There's no magic here. This isn't a magical place. This is a jail cell. This is a prison where you earn money to survive. Apart from that, you're lucky that you're allowed out in your garden or you're allowed out on the streets in this slum. But to me, London is nothing but a bona fide prison. Don't be dead.
Here's a breakdown that hits hard with numbers, petrol prices, housing, energy bills, even wages. According to this TikTok, Britain isn't just expensive, it's becoming impossible to live in. Let's hear why they say enough is enough.
This is why at 35 years old, I'm leaving the UK. First up, cost of living. And one of them is petrol. Look at that. 90% dearer than it is in the US. Almost twice the price than the US. 42% higher than the global average. Mental. And if you're wondering why it's so expensive, take a look at that. It's nearly all tax. Second up, car insurance. In 2023, our prices went up 43% in 1 year. But for Germany, 2.6%, France, 0.4%, and Spain, 0.0%. And ours went up 43%. And if you take a look at that, in Belgium and Ireland, they actually both had a reduction in the same time. And one of the reasons for this is the government's in on it. They make it illegal not to have insurance. If you're not insured, they give you 6 points, take your car away, maybe crush it. You can lose your job, your livelihood, they don't care. And worst of all, they have no intention of making sure you pay a fair price. Because look at that, a UK government spokesperson said insurance premiums are a commercial decision which it does not seek to intervene. So it's illegal not to have it. If you don't have it, we'll take your car. We'll take your license. You'll lose your job. But we have no intention of making sure you pay a fair price because we don't care what you pay. Because all we want is a tax off you pay. Next up, housing. England is now the most difficult place to find a home in a developed world, with a quarter of UK private renters spending over 40% of their income on housing. To be honest, I think it's a lot more than 40%. Who spends 40% on housing? You spend a lot more than that. Unless you're living in a room or something. There we are, top of the table. 23% of us are paying more than 40% just to have a place to sleep at night. And if you thought that was bad, we have the most expensive energy on planet Earth. We're paying over $400 per megawatt hour, almost twice the second most expensive. US, way down there, paying less than 100, we're paying more than 400, 4 times the price of energy we're paying than them, and 90% extra on petrol. So we're the hardest place to find somewhere to live. Renting it costs us the most. The energy we use to live in it costs us 4 times what it does in the USA. The petrol in our car costs us basically twice as much what it costs in the USA. Our car insurance has basically doubled when everyone else has either stayed the same or went down. And all this while our wages haven't gone up since 2008. Yes, that's right, our wages haven't actually gone up in real terms since 2008. There's a little graph there, it should just keep going up, but it's hit 2008, boom, come down and just stay flat the whole way. There we go. Torsten Bell, Chief Executive of the Resolution Foundation, says that the wage stagnation of the past decade and a half is almost completely unprecedented. Nobody who's alive and working in the British economy today has ever seen anything like this. This is definitely not what normal looks like, this is what failure looks like. So those are just a few of the reasons why I've had enough and I'm getting out.
Here's a video that really captures the frustration of being stuck in the UK grind. Work, sleep, repeat with rising taxes, uncertain pensions, and safety concerns on top of it all. It's less of a polished argument and more of a raw vent, but it shows exactly how people feel trapped.
Do you ever feel like your life is just in a loop? Work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep, sleep, work, work, sleep, sleep, work. And then if you get there, you reach late ages and try and draw pension, and most of us are probably going to get told at our ages that there's nothing there to draw out. Like, I can see why majority of people under the age of 30 are seriously consider moving out the UK. Not to say that there's other areas that are just a promised land, but to be somewhere where you're supposed to work hard, you get taxed like anything, you know, you're not even guaranteed pension at the end of it. And, you know, most of the country are places where someone can kick your door in and take all your shit, and the law and the police probably won't do nothing about it. It's just an overall bad deal. But then it's like, do you leave your family behind and go and try and find a better life? but then obviously lack the family because you're away? Or do you prioritize family and stay, but you know that these family members that are a lot older than you are already comfortable in setting their own lives, and you'll probably be mapped out to be the same way, but at least you've got family? It is just such a and to anyone in that position, I would personally say, take the leap. There was no point to this video, I just wanted to rant, but comment if you relate to this and let me know how you feel in the comments.
This next TikTok comes from someone who actually left the UK and says the culture itself pushed them away. From high cost to what they call a depressing mindset, their message is simple. If you can work from anywhere, why stay trapped in Britain?
Why is everyone leaving the UK? I've personally left, so I can tell you my 3 reasons. But I was watching a video that triggered this, me creating this, and the CEO of Monzo said, Britain is attached to a rich city with an anti-entrepreneurial mindset. And it made me think. So one of the main reasons why I left is because Britain has like a depressing culture. We take a lot of shit and don't do anything about it. For example, if you have a conversation with someone and ask how their life is, they'll basically tell you that they're not enjoying it, but they won't do anything about it. Oh, Britain's like this, but I don't know, we can't do anything about it. Oh, my job's rubbish, but I can't do anything about it. I'll just stay here. And that is simply not the case. You need to do better for yourself, and you can actually make improvements. You can leave. If I had any piece of advice to any 20-year-old or someone that can take risks in their life, it would be to go and explore a different city, go and see what else in the world has to offer you. And you don't have to leave for good. You can go back to England. I still enjoy going back to England, but I just could not see myself living there. Also, I'd like to point out that the quality of life in England is not that great. Even if you're in a middle-class position, the average rental price in London is £2,500. So imagine, utilities on top. I know gas is up 94% than it was 4 years ago. That's a huge increase. My personal bills in Liverpool, I was living up north, so it was cheaper. My utilities will come into £400 per month, and my car insurance was £300 per month. It keeps you locked in that cycle. So if you've got a skill set, if you can work from your laptop or work from home, why are you not leaving and living a better life? I would rather be making 30k a year living here in Lithuania than making 100k living in the UK, purely because life is just an endless cycle. You wake up, maybe go to the gym, you go to work, and you repeat. I finally started making videos. I finally started putting myself out there and making content, and that was something that I never would have done in the UK, because you're surrounded by people that are ready to drag you down. And you never realise how much your environment changes you until you actually leave.
Left the United Kingdom and my quality of life is improving. I can see colour again. Normality is restored. Can you feel that sunshine? My goodness me. Cause he lives is a distant memory. I don't remember her. I'm not even wearing a jacket. Hi, this is enjoyment, y'all.
Leaving the UK has been the best decision I've ever made for my health, because the UK was quite literally making me sick. I thought that I had all of these autoimmune diseases when I was living in the UK, because I was constantly tired and fatigued. I was constantly getting ill. I constantly had anxiety. I just didn't feel my best self, despite being somebody who is always health conscious, always eating the right things, always going to the gym, always getting 8 hours of sleep. And it was so draining to a point that I was focusing on my health so much and I wasn't really getting the results that I should have been. And it was just frustrating me so much and giving me even more anxiety, because I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? I had severe acne. I struggled with bloating because my cortisol was so high. Yes, I went to the gym, but it was really difficult to get my steps in because, you know, walking in the UK is not where it's at, so freezing. And since leaving the UK, I'm doing like 20,000 steps every single day. My skin is the softest and clearest it's ever been. This is just scarring. Like, I had such bad acne, you can see from the scarring here. I am the skinniest I have been in years. I have so much energy. I never thought I would have this amount of energy. I just put it down to I'm just not somebody who's got a lot of energy, despite, you know, getting 8 hours of sleep and trying to stay off my phone before I go to sleep and stuff. I just always felt drained and tired, and I just kind of gave up on that. I thought, okay, that's just me as a person. Not here. I can work until late at night. I can get up early in the morning. I feel fresh. Doesn't matter. Like, Even if I get less sleep now, I'm still got the energy because I'm constantly outside, I'm constantly getting fresh air, sunlight. And that's just reason 101 why the UK is just such a depressing place to live in. And because it is like that, and because it is so miserable, it is affecting your health and your body in so many ways that you probably didn't even realise.
It's not just young people who are fed up. Even landlords and property experts are saying London has become unlivable. With rent hikes, mortgage costs, and a government that seems to make everything worse, people are getting pushed out of the city altogether.
Hey guys, so what's the deal with everyone moving out of London? You know, lots of stats coming out now about how people can't afford to live in London. People are moving out, 40% of people moving out. The reality is 28% used to move out. Now there's 40%, so 12% up, which is probably about right. And I think the reason that is because rents have been driven up so high because of stupid policies by the government. And just the whole approach to the whole, you know, haphazard, you know, 13 or 16 different housing ministers, like just an absolute, you know, it's just ridiculous what's been going on. But the bottom line is, on a lot of places in London, what we've found is the rents have gone up so much that now, you know, you might have been on 1,250 or 1,400, now your rent is 2,000. You know, which is an incredible jump. But the reality is that is where the market is. Now, if you're living there and your rent goes up by that much, can you keep affording, along with the cost of living crisis, along with all this? Probably not. So you're having to make a decision to move out to where? Normally you'd say ripple effect. You'll move out, you know, to the next tube station or the next, you know, area. And that's what's happening, unfortunately, is people are having to be, you know, move out, and because they're being pushed out, you know. Now, normally, you know, the rent creeps up year after year after year, so it's gradual. What's happened now is it's gone a massive jump. Now, unfortunately, as you know, just having a chat with one of our landlords, he said, look, you know, my mortgages have gone up 400 or 500, but my rents have only gone up 250. So he's out of pocket 250, plus his insurance has quadrupled, you know, that he's paying on the property because, you know, from the service charge and that. So all of a sudden now he's sitting here going, I need to sell this one because I can't afford it. Yeah? And that is the pain that landlords are going through, but also it's the pain that tenants are going through. And unfortunately, the government and the powers that be have got, you know, landlords and tenants fighting each other, as opposed to pointing the finger where it should be, which is the incompetent leadership of the Tory government. And unfortunately, Labor is not going to do any better, you know. So what do we do? Well, you know, I mean, we need a third alternative. In fact, what we really need is to get democracy back and get a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and, you know, choice, real choice back, because we haven't been given that. It's been taken away from us. Anyway, let's not get into the politics, but bottom line is that is why people are moving out of London, is because rents have gone up so much they don't have a choice. They can't afford to live here anymore if they're on a fixed income, with the cost of living crisis and with all this sort of stuff. There's nothing wrong with London per se. It's the fact that the demographics and the wage side of things has changed. Okay. All right, guys, any questions in the comment? Hopefully that'll be quite topical, and we'll get a few people who aren't very happy about my comments, but why not? It's the truth. Let's see you guys. Bye.
It's not just young professionals or students who feel trapped here. Even parents are starting to question whether raising a family in the UK is worth it. Listen to what this single mom has to say about her struggles.
Guys, I need your help. I don't know if I'm having some kind of breakdown, midlife crisis, but watch this clip of this video of me last year.
I feel like something massive, like I need like a massive, like drastic change. Like, I've been doing the 365 days and it's been great, and I'm definitely in a better place than I was, 100%. However, I just feel like it's not filling that void. There's something deeper. Like, I'm so close to wanting to pull all the kids out of school, sell my house and move to somewhere like Thailand and just live a completely different way of life.
I still feel that way. I cannot believe that this is it. This is life. Like, there's got to be more. The problem is that ideally I would love to get the kids and move to the other side of the world to live like kings. In the UK, oh my God, the costs of everything, they are literally bending us over at every opportunity. So I know that if I moved to somewhere like Thailand, we would live like kings. We really, really would. But because I am a single mum, and I think the other single mums and single parents in general can relate to this, because I'm a single mum, when you come to making big decisions like this for yourself and the kids, it's all on you, like it's all on me. Moving to a different country where you don't speak the language, really, really scary. And I know that if I had a partner, now I'm not saying I want a partner at all, I'm just saying that if I had a partner, I know that I would have already done it. I would have done it in a flash, because it wouldn't have felt so intense and it wouldn't have felt like there was a lot of pressure on me to get it right. I need help. I either need suggestions of what I can do, or I just need someone to go, Kate, sort it out. Put on your big girl pants and sort it out. So yeah, I don't know what to do, but I don't want to spend another year. That video was taken this time last year, and before anyone says, oh Kate, you look amazing in that video, I'm wearing a filter. All right, anyway, I digress. Cannot spend another year feeling like this and not doing anything, because what the fuck. Kind of like the idea of buying in a different country, because over here it's not the one, buying a load of land in a country and starting my own commune. Actually, commune, is that the word I'm looking for? Commune. No, I think it is. Community, yeah? Not a cult. And then I thought, yeah, what a wicked idea. I'll buy my land and then I'll invite people to come and move on to the land and they can build their own dwelling or whatever it is. And then I thought, what if I did that and no one joined? Like, no one wanted to be part of my community. I just have all this land and no friends. But help me. What can I do? Has anyone else felt like this and now they've gone and done something and now feel okay? Or will I never feel fulfilled? Or is the universe trying to tell me something and I'm not picking up on what it's trying to tell me? I don't know, but yeah, I just know that there's more to life, and I am meant for bigger things, okay? Bigger things, and yeah. Help me.
Me, my husband and my 2-year-old moved to Costa Rica from the UK a month ago, and honestly, we've just come back to visit family, and all I've done since I got back is cry. Everyone has questioned us as to why we've left. We got so many awful comments on here, online, talking about, you know, you'll be back in a year, or why would you leave? You've got it so good here compared to other places. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, take a look around, just look outside, see what's happening. It's the most awful, miserable place to be. I know there are worse places. I know that. I understand that. But when your husband, who is British born, is scared to even go into the town that he's lived in for years, you know you're not where you should be. Like, my grown-ass husband should not be scared to go outside because of the colour of his skin. I'm sorry, like, I'm just so done with this place. We were supposed to come back and see family for 2 weeks. We're leaving after a week. Like, I can't be here. It is the most horrible place. Like, when we're in Costa Rica, we are so relaxed. Our baseline is chilled. Sometimes something might bring us up a little bit to a little bit of like normal stress, you know, everyday stress, whereas here the baseline is literally fight or flight. I can't exist like this. And so the next time someone asks me why we've left the UK, like, I'm just gonna say it, open your eyes, seriously. Like, take a look around. Who would want to be here? Yeah, so I'm counting down the days till I get back to Costa Rica, because this is just not it.
So my girlfriend and I have decided to quit our jobs and leave the UK in 10 days time to go travelling around Southeast Asia and then move on to Australia. Now, other than friends and family, I don't think there is that much left in the UK for me. The quality of life is depressing. Nobody here wants to see you do well. It's just such a negative culture now. The weather is shit. And yeah, we just think that this is the right choice for us. We're taking a risk that I feel most people are quite scared to take, in all honesty, but we think it's the right choice for us, so that's why we're doing it. I'm going to document the whole thing on here, so follow me and just see what we get up to. Yeah,
having a real emotional moment, a pinch me moment of how far we've come. We left the UK in December 2023 because we were drowning. We just spent time with our kids. We worked all of the time. The bills were going up. Car insurance was going up. Tesco shops were going up. And we had to work more to earn more, to live the life that we had created. And quite frankly, we just had enough. And I was pregnant with my third baby. And I thought, how am I going to cope with another child and spend time with my kids and be a good mother, be a good wife, and run a house, work, earn money? And quite frankly, it's impossible. I think the UK makes it impossible for you to live your life. So we left. And this is now our life. We've moved to Bali. Well, we're traveling the world, but we're stopping in Bali for a year. And we earn money passively. We have passive income. We don't do a 9-to-5. We get to spend time with our kids. We have a private beach cabana today, a secluded beach. And we've just spent the day together being present. It's wholesome. It's lovely. And everyone says to me, the grass isn't greener. Now I'm here to tell you, this is our grass. And it is greener.
I'm 19, I've booked a one-way flight to Thailand that leaves in 24 hours. I've quit my job and I'm leaving all my friends and family behind, and I'm finally leaving the UK. I'm looking forward to just being free of expectation and not being held to what I'd done 7 years ago back in secondary school, and everyone just in the UK is just so toxic. In the UK, when you grow up and mature and you do better and you start seeing success, people just hate on you and they'll hold you accountable for things you've done like 7 years ago in secondary school. That's why I'm taking a risk and leaving everything behind and going to the other side of the world in Southeast Asia to start this new life. I mean, it's raining in July in England and you're paying £2 for a bottle of Coke. So take that risk, leave everything behind and just go. Follow me to see my journey as a 19-year-old in Thailand.
Why did I move back from England to Cape Town, South Africa with my British husband? The answer is very, very simple. I don't owe anyone an explanation, but I'm going to give you guys a few hints of why I moved back. Number one, the weather, of course. I absolutely miss seeing the sun. It just makes me so much happier. I am not a winter girl. I've always not been a winter girl. Number two, the food. The food is so much better in South Africa. And number three, the people. There is no people on the planet like South Africa. We are the most friendliest people you will ever find in all your life. And was it a blessing for me to move to the UK? 100%. It showed me what I didn't want to be like. It showed me what I missed and took for granted all this time. And having said that, I definitely don't have anything against the UK. I don't think that you should go and live in the UK with the intention, especially if you've just arrived there and you're watching this video. I don't want you to think, you're going to get bullied, or you might move there and you would like everything that I've just mentioned that I didn't like. It's not a competition. It's an individual choice. I get so many messages from expats around the world saying they want to move back as well. They're in the process of moving back. There's no place like home. But the reality is, Tom and myself, my husband, if you are new on this page, we weighed up our pros and cons, and we actually found out that we could have a better life here in terms of my mental health, number one. Number two, I just wanted to be happy again. I lost myself. When I say lost myself, I had to pretend to be something that I'm not, because the minute you are yourself in a foreign country, you will hear that that's not how we do things here, and that's fine. It might work for other people, but for 7 years, it was just a constant moving back and forth. And I feel like a lot of people think that Tom and myself just planned this over the past couple of months. We've actually spoken to our close friends and family about this for years. The plan was always there, and Tom and myself were very careful about our plans. We did save up a bit of money. We bought a house on purpose so that we could make some profit off it and come back here with some money. and just live a better life. For you, a better life might be living in the UK and all of those things. For me, the pros and the cons looks different for everyone, and I do appreciate people who move abroad for a better life, because if I had to do it all over again, I probably would. But I think there's a time and place where you have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, are you happy? And if the answer is no, only you can make that decision. I've just had so many different conversations with people wanting to move back, asking me for my advice, and I said to them the following: please do not quote me on my experiences in Cape Town, South Africa. Please, if you come back, make sure you do your own research based on where you're going to live. If you're going to move to Durban or you're going to move to Joburg, that's very different from Cape Town. And even within Cape Town, you have the Cape Flats, you have townships, you have the suburbs, you have Camps Bay, you have different places. So no matter what, we're all going to have different experiences. I am very grateful that the UK took me in. It gave me a very, very good life. It made me very, very stable in life. It matured me into this young woman that I am today. It gave me a very good husband as well. But the reality is, I just love my country and I'm very passionate about South Africa. And I'm never, ever going to let anyone tell me otherwise. I love being back here. And just in the first month, we've been back for a month, I've already made 5 South African friends. I couldn't do that in the 7 years that I was in the UK. I'm not saying I didn't have British friends, but it took long to make those friends. So my opinion is, before you want to pack up and leave whichever country you live in, make sure that you weigh out your pros and cons. If the answer is stay abroad, then stay abroad. I'm not here to encourage anyone to move back. This is my story. This is my experience. If you feel like you've had a different experience and you never want to leave the UK or America or wherever, make your own video and then you tell your followers what your experience is. This is my experience and I absolutely love being back home. I am very proudly South African. I love this country with all my being. I don't know how to love another country. I don't know how to do that. I will always say to Tom that the UK will always have a special place in my heart, but there is no place like South Africa, and that's the truth. And that's the reason why we came back, for a better life. To some it might sound like a joke, and to some it might make sense. Only you will know what a better life looks like to you. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.